Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So about a month ago I did an anti-haul video where I went through a whole bunch of makeup products that are kind of on trend right now that I would not be purchasing, and I decided I wanted to do like a fashion trends version and all of the fashion trends that I will not be following. But as I was kind of making my list of all the trends that I'm not really into, I realized there's a whole bunch of trends that I'm really into, and I kind of wanted to talk about those trends as well. So in today's video, rather than just being like an anti-fashion trends kind of video, I'm actually going to be talking about the trends that I'm not joining, but also the trends that I do really like, and I think I will kind of follow those trends. So leave a comment down below and let me know some of the trends that you love and some of the trends that you hate. And if you do enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe if you're new, and let's go ahead and get started. I just kind of want to point out there are like a bajillion more trends than what I'm talking about, but these are the main ones that kind of caught my eye and the ones that stood out to me. Like I said, if you've got any other trends that you love or you hate, please leave them as a comment down below. But the first one that I wanted to talk about are chokers, and I think I mentioned this in one of my weekly vlogs where I did receive a choker in a gift bag, and I haven't worn it. It's still in the packaging because I like the idea of the trend, but it's just not my style, and I never really wore chokers when I was a kid when they were way back in fashion, and I just don't see myself wearing them now. And I think they can look really, really cool on people. If I were going to wear any chokers, it would definitely be probably just like a more plain black one. I lie. I totally lie. I completely am lying. So I do actually have one choker, and I have worn this choker before, and it's a super glitzy, really glam, like gemstone and pearl choker. This is from my friend Alex. She has a jewelry line which I'll have listed in the description, and it is beautiful. And I wore this out to AJ's 21st and it was fabulous. So I totally lie. I have a choker, I have worn a choker, I'm totally on this trend. But I can't see myself going out and purchasing like all these floral ones or all the really like novelty looking ones. That's just not my trend at all. I think I'm definitely more steering towards like the plain black ones or something like this that's really glam, that I have only worn once when going out at nighttime, and I would only wear it out at nighttime. That's kind of where I'm going with the chokers. I can't believe I'm such a liar. So a trend that I'm actually really kind of into, I don't own anything in this trend, but I probably will in the future, and that is the gingham trend. There are lots of different shirts and jackets, and I quite like it. I think it's cool. It can come in a range of colors like blacks and reds and all the kinds of traditional colors. I think that gingham would come in, probably blue, and I actually really like it. I could definitely see myself getting a button-up shirt that's in a gingham pattern, probably in a black one, because I just feel like that would suit me most, but you never know. I just really quite like it. The next trend that I'm really, really on the fence with are those pleated skirts that are kind of like 3/4 length on the legs. I see some of them and I just think, I like it, but it's just not me. Like, I just can't see myself wearing that type of skirt. And then other times, like if I'm on Instagram and I'm actually scrolling through like the hashtag pleated skirt, there are some beautiful ones that I'm like, yes, I would definitely wear that. Probably not every day, but I would wear it to maybe events. And then also, in saying that, we're going into the really cool weather here in Australia, and I feel like skirts, for me anyways, are so hard to wear in winter. Like, I fail at wearing skirts. I'm gonna try this winter, but I just don't think I'm gonna be wearing like those 3/4 pleated skirts. Another trend that I am loving right now are button-up shirts, in the sense that they're like a little bit different. They're not just like a classic plain button-up shirt. They've got different patterns. They kind of have different styles where they sit off the sleeves, or they've got like ties around them, or really big bunchy sleeves. They've got some character and some detail to them, and I really quite like those. I love button-up shirts, and I kind of love the tailored look anyway, so I'm definitely going to be all over this buttoned-up shirt that's kind of got interesting details, because it's combining two of my favorite things: tailored shirts and the fact that I like outfits and pieces of clothing that have some sort of interesting detail to them. So the next trend is something I'm definitely not going to be jumping on, and that is the fishnet trend. Like, whether it's fishnets like socks in shoes, or fishnets coming up over the top of like denim jeans, or so you can see it through the rips in the jeans. That's just not my style. It's a little bit grungy for me. My style mostly consists of like chic and then a little bit like sports, luxe, casual-ish. And that's kind of where my style stops, to be honest. So this whole kind of grungy, like fishnetty trend isn't really for me, but I do think it looks really cool, like the contrast between the black and the denim. I do like that. So something else that I'm a little bit on the fence with are these like designer printed tees. Like the Gucci tee is massive right now. And while I don't think I'm going to purchase a Gucci tee specifically, if I were going to get something, like, I do love t-shirts. I have so many t-shirts. T-shirts are definitely my kind of style, but I don't know if I'm necessarily going to go with the Gucci one. I feel like if I were to go with any kind of printed designer tee, I would probably go with the EVA'S one because it is so simple. It is just like plain, basically almost plain, but it's still printed. That's why I would go with it, and I actually really like the EVA'S one, and it's a little bit cheaper as well compared to the Gucci one. Another trend that I'm a bit on the fence with, but I'm probably going to steer clear of, is the floral embroidered print kind of thing, especially on denim. Like, I can look at some pieces. I actually saw some boots on Instagram earlier that were black with the beautiful floral, and I was like, those are some boots that I could actually probably wear. But the reddish kind of floral on the blue denim is probably not a trend that I'm going to get into. If I were going to wear any of the floral embroidery, it would have to be on like black or maybe white. But even then, I don't own any of it, and I'm not sure it's something I'm going to go out of my way to get. But who knows, like I said in my last video, I'm probably going to contradict myself and own half of these things in like a month anyway, so who knows. But I can say that I actually haven't purchased anything from that last video, so I'm kind of keeping my word at this point. Another trend that I am loving right now is kind of like the showing off of belt buckles. So for this particular trend, a lot of the belt buckles that you currently see everywhere are from Gucci, and while I really like the Gucci belts, I just don't know if I'm going to jump onto that specific belt buckle trend because it is absolutely everywhere, and I'm not entirely sure that's something that I want to buy into my wardrobe and invest in because it is quite an expensive item to buy a Gucci belt. But the other day when I was at Kmart, I did buy a belt because I didn't actually have any belts. All of my jeans just happened to fit without needing a belt. So I went and bought like an $8 just plain black belt with a silver plain really simple buckle on the front of it, just so that I could kind of test out this trend. Wear the belt, I could tuck my t-shirts into it, see how I feel about it, and if I do quite like how I look with the belt on me, then I think I'm going to look at maybe investing into something that's a little bit interesting. I don't know if it will necessarily be a Gucci one, but maybe something a little bit more unique. I really want to look on ASOS because I feel like ASOS is going to be a great place to like find cool belts with interesting buckles, but I do quite like the belt buckle trend. I just don't know if I'm going to jump on the like specifically the Gucci belt. The next trend that I have been avoiding and that I'm going to probably keep avoiding are like the Bardot top kind of style, if that makes sense, the ones that sit here, because I find them really restricted in them, and I feel like I can't put my arms up, I don't feel like I can do anything, and it's just, I feel like it's cutting me off. And so I did have one black Bardot top from Bardot, funnily enough, and I ended up wearing it once in October last year, and I actually dropped it off to the donation bins the other day because I just never wore it because it was so impractical. I have another white one in there that I find is okay because it's actually fitted here and the sleeves give me movement, so I can put my arms up and I can move. So the only way that I will wear Bardot tops, also like the blue stripy one, which is also from Bardot, is if they have a strap so that the sleeves aren't like part of holding up the shirt, or if they are quite fitted around the bodice and then the sleeves have movement. That's the only time that I will wear that trend, but if it's like all in one and the sleeves are kind of holding it up, I won't get it because it's just really impractical to me and I really don't like the inability to move. The next trend is something that I really like, and I feel like this might be a bit of a shock to people, but I have seen this beautiful, like warm yellow color in so many items recently, and I love it. I have no yellow. I have never ever really worn yellow, and I just feel like if I'm gonna bring a color into my wardrobe, it's gonna be this color. If it suits me, I don't even know if it suits me because I've never tried anything on in that color, but I just really love how it looks. It's just so warm and fun, and I think it works both for for spring and for autumn because it is such a rich color that it does work for these cooler months here in Australia. But if you live in the springtime, it's totally gonna work as well. And I just really like this color. It just makes me happy. And I have two more fashion trends I will not be following. They are both cutout related. The first one are the cutout knits. You know how the knitted shirts, that's like a long sleeve knit that has the cut in the shoulder. I don't really know that I'm gonna go on that trend. I've looked, I haven't tried. I just don't think that's gonna be my kind of style. And then the other cutout trend are cutout ankle boots, because this seems really impractical to me. I get really cold in winter and I would like boots that I can actually wear socks with, and I feel like you can't wear socks with these boots because the cutout is so low that it's going to show the socks, and I don't like the idea of showing socks. So it's just not very practical to me, and I just don't think I'm gonna spend my money on a cutout boot because it just seems really impractical. Same with the knit, it's cut out and it's supposed to be keeping you warm. It doesn't really make much sense to me, so I think that's something that I'm going to avoid. So those are all of the current trends that I am going to avoid and I'm actually going to jump on. Let me know in the comments down below what ones you love and which ones you are going to avoid as well. And if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. If this is the kind of video that you would like to see me regularly do every few months as trends change and I can talk about new trends, please let me know, because I think this is so fun to film and I love looking at the new things that everyone's kind of getting into. So yeah, and please subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos.